Hey, what's up, guys? Are you also confused with the drag and drop interactions in Figma or don't know how exactly these interactions work? Then you have hit the correct video. Today, we're going to break it down into simple and easy approach where you will understand how exactly the drag and drop works in Figma, and then you will able to create any sort of complex drag and drop interactions in Figma and make your prototypes look awesome and more realistic. So without any further ado, let's jump into Figma. Well, before that, make sure you already subscribed to the channel, hit that bell icon, and what if you are not done it yet, then it's a loss for you. Okay, loss as in you will not get notified for all our future uploads, and you may miss all such amazing tutorials which we have on the channel or which we will have on the channel. Okay, you can also support our channel by hitting that super thanks button just below the video. That gives us motivation to keep creating amazing content for you guys. Okay, I have here a simple setup which will help you to understand how exactly drag and drop works in Figma. Here I have a simple frame where I have a simple rectangle and a default position indicator in all other frames around it. So one frame which has rectangle in the center and other frames has rectangle on the different directions. And why do we need this setup to understand drag and drop? Because when we create a drag and drop or on drag interaction in Figma basically records two things. One is are we clicking or are we dragging the object which has on drag interaction attached to it, and second thing, what is the direction of the mouse move. Okay, so I'll explain you with this practical example here. So I'll quickly open this in a prototype preview mode, and now when I drag the same rectangle in any of the direction, okay, let's say we drag it towards the left, it goes and trigger this frame here. So I'll just move this thing here, and now you can see this nice small little highlighted part here. Okay, so we have started this interaction from this frame and now we are on this frame. So I'll just move it back to the center, and now you can see it has updated our selection or the highlight thing of this prototype, and it is now only drag one or the middle frame is highlighted. Now let me just move it towards the top, and now you can see we have triggered the interaction towards this frame, and that's why this frame is highlighted here. And now when I move it back to the default or to the origin or to the center, it again triggers the interaction which goes from this frame to this frame. And now when I move it down, it takes same object and moves it down and triggers the interaction towards this frame. Now you would be saying, okay, I can simply create a on click interaction and I'll just animate the object or animate the rectangle to move on the different positions. Yes, definitely you can do it, but why exactly I'm explaining you this? Because if you notice, we have only one single object or one single rectangle, and now you can see which has all these on drag events applied to it. Okay, so we don't have multiple objects, we only have one object which has multiple on drag events, and all those events are triggering different interactions based on how we move our mouse when we trigger the drag interaction. And that's what I wanted to explain you in this tutorial. Okay, so now we have understood how exactly on drag event works. Now we are going to understand how to create a complex drag interaction like we created a simple clip in an audio edit application. Okay, so you will understand it in more details. I'll just close this, and here we are in Figma. I'll hit Shift E, which will toggle you from the design and prototype tabs. So I'm in the design tab. I already had created a clip here or a clip component here, but as you know, we always create things from the scratch so you can understand everything in a more better and simple approach. So I'll just create one rectangle here, and you can just rename this rectangle and you can call it clip rect. Okay, and we also need the trim handles, but before that let's just change the color of this rectangle and let's make it different from the previous one so you can understand we have created a new object and we are using a new object itself. So So let me create one more rectangle here, and this is going to be our trim handle. So I'll just make it a simple rectangle, and I'll just rename it L trim handle, and let's make it, same color but a darker shade. Okay, and just create one more copy of this and move it on the right hand side and just rename it our trim handle. So we have two trim handles, one clip here in the middle. I'll select everything and hit Shift A. That will create an auto layout for us. Make sure you have zero spacing between the trim handles and the clips. You can have more spacing as well. Probably that may not give the realistic feel of an audio editor application. So that's why, but yeah, if you want, you can change all these setups here. Okay, so I have just simple clip here, or simple object here, or simple frame here with a set of rectangles, like 3 rectangles to be precise, and I'll just rename it clip new because I already have a clip component here. Okay, I'm just creating a clip new or clip tutorial, whatever we want to call it, doesn't matter. But yes, we missed one more thing, which is giving the name. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so I'll double click it, rename it, and just add a slash and default. Okay, what exactly we are doing, if you have not watched our previous tutorials, then probably you don't know what exactly we are doing here. But yeah, this naming convention is we give a name of the component, then slash, and the name of the variant, or its property. Okay, so let's just duplicate this and this time rename it to the selected. Okay, and now as this is going to be our selected set, let's just select the rectangle or the clip rect in the middle, and let's add a stroke to this. Make the stroke color same as our trim handle so that matches with the hierarchy, and let's just give it a 2 pixel inside stroke so that we have clearly indication of the default and selected state. You may also change the color as well, but that would be too much for a tutorial. So let's duplicate this one more time, and this is going to be our trim 1 because we are going to create 2 variations of the trim. So that's why I have called it trim 1, and I'll make it smaller here, and I'll just create one more here, and this time I'll make it larger so that we have default selected trim 1, trim 2. You can keep on adding more variations of the trim and as much as interactions you want in your prototype, but I feel that should be enough. Now let's select everything here, all the frames which we have here, and let's go to the create component here, but rather than clicking on create component, just click on the arrow next to it and click on create component set. So that will create a component set with the name clip new and 4 variants which we have given the names default, selected, trim 1 and trim 2. You can see those names here. Okay, so I have here on the default variant or default property, I'll go to the prototype and I'll create the interaction. Now you would have guessed it already what exactly we have to do. Yes, we have to create a simple on-click interaction that will change the state of this clip from the default to selected. Okay, we will also do a reverse thing as well from the selected to the default, and just to make selection a bit more prominent, we can also change the color of the trim handles to the color of the clip so that it gives us a feeling that when we select, then only the trim handles are visible. Now we have to create the drag interaction from the trim handles, not on the actual clip. Okay, so let's select the trim handle or the right trim handle because we are just going to scale it from the right hand side. So let's select the right trim handle and create an interaction that will create on drag, and we will change to trim 1 smart animate linear 300 milliseconds. You can change this, but smart animate gives a nice animation when we drag it. You can make it linear as well, or you can make it instant as well, but yeah, let's make it smart animate. And now we will select this and we will create a drag event from the trim 1 property to the trim 2, or from this 3rd variant of the component to the 4th variant of the component, so that when we drag this rectangle towards the right, as we already seen, it will trigger this interaction. Okay, and let's make it on drag. And now let's create one variant, or sorry, one interaction from the right trim handle of the last variant to the selected variant, so that when we drag it towards the left, it makes it smaller. So now if you look at this setup here, what we exactly understood, based on the direction of the mouse, it triggers the interaction automatically. Now in this case, our all directions are just left or right. So in this case, that is very simple, straightforward interaction. But in case of other interactions, like when we create a file drag and drop, or when you create a draggable scroll bar, then you would be applying this principle. So based on movement of your mouse, when you trigger on drag interaction, it will trigger the exact interaction, and that will move your object towards the direction which we have defined. So it doesn't matter if the frame is on the left hand side or frame is on the right hand side. That is just to explain you visually, but you can organize all those frames in a sequential manner as well. It is as long as, so here you can see we have all these things arranged in a simple linear manner, but depending on the direction of this object actually has been moved in the next frame. Okay, so if I show you here as well, so if I move this rectangle towards the left and I create a on drag interaction, so whenever I drag this rectangle in the prototype towards the left, then only this interaction is going to trigger. So just to understand this, I just simply copy these two frames here, okay, and I'll remove all other interactions of this rectangle, and now we have only one interaction from this rectangle which goes towards the left. And now I'll show you, open this in preview mode, and when I move, okay, my rectangle is moving correctly. I'll just close this, and now I'll show you one thing. I'll just move this rectangle here, up, and now I have same thing here. Oops, okay, yeah, I guess we have removed all these interactions, but okay, no worries. Yeah, so I'll just trigger it again, and now if you see, when I'm moving my cursor towards the left, it is not working. When I'm moving my cursor towards the right, it is not working. But when I start moving it towards up, it automatically triggers the interaction and takes my rectangle towards up. So depending on where we have exactly placed the same object in the next frame, or wherever our interaction is going to be triggered, Figma automatically determines which frame it has to select it. Same way, if we have created it in a component, then Figma will automatically determines which variant of the component has to be selected. I know it is quite complicated, but just to make it very simple and easy to understand, just remember one thing: whenever you create a drag interaction in Figma, Figma will only trigger the drag interaction in the direction where the same object has been placed in the next frame or next variant. Okay, so I hope that is easier now to understand. And now let's just move this here in this our test frame. I know it is outside the timeline, but that is fine. Let's just trigger the animation, or prototype preview, and you might be seeing what exactly I am hitting. It is Shift plus spacebar, so that you can open this preview window rather than opening it in a separate tab. Okay, now I have clicked here. Okay, my on select interaction is working, and when I move, oh, that is working. So when I move it, it is working as expected. So I hope you now have learned how to create any complicated on drag interaction in Figma, and you are well equipped with this simple tutorial where we understand how exactly on drag or drag and drop works in Figma. Now I would like you to let me know in the comments if you have learned it or not, if you want to understand it in more details, if you have any other questions, or I would also like to know what are the creative things which you would be using this on drag interaction in Figma. So let me know in the comments. Until the next video, keep watching, keep learning, keep designing, and hit that like button.